Tonight's episode, The Endangered Species.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
At Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Okay, now I'm unmuted, and now we're starting. Welcome, everybody, to our daily gun show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for about an hour. So, what a crazy couple of days, and it is Tuesday. So, we go live every weeknight at midnight, and our goal is to get some things accomplished with our show on Tuesdays. It's the Second Amendment, as you might be able to tell from the thumbnail you may have clicked on to watch this video. I'm clicking on a couple of things here. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll see some right here. I'll put this in our Gilded. I don't put our own shows in here too often. I was putting in Barbecue Show earlier. So, welcome everybody who might be joining us live, which, no, there's nobody not joining us live tonight. But what we're going to do tonight is bring in our guest host, Sharon, and we're going to take a look back in time. Wait a minute, am I on here? Yeah, I'm wiggling. So we're going to bring up the screen here and bring Sharon in here. Welcome, Sharon, and I'll just stand behind her so everybody can just see her. All right, so what we're looking at here is our thing. What we're going to do, though, is go to the channel, and I'm not logged in, so we're going to the Daily Gun Show channel here on YouTube as somebody's not logged in, and that's what we're looking at on the screen here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that a little bit. I guess that didn't do it. I'm going to zoom in over here, and now we are zoomed in all the way. Well, you know, there's today's video happening live. We got our Monday motivation playlist right at the top there. Our most recent videos in there. We got our Tuesday, boom, right across the top there. Wednesday, look at that, is the tactical quizzes. Then we have Thursday, where we travel and talk about training. That's that Thursday list. Friday is when we take a look back at the week. We're going to be adding the industry in there as well, if possible. We got some of our other projects out there, and then some of our Second Amendment interviews that we put at the top of the list. And let's see what else we got down here. Some of the shows that we did on the road. We've got 1,400 episodes, something like that right now. So quite a few of those were on the road, various parts of the country. That's what we're looking at in this playlist. Probably not all of them, but the ones I could tell by the playlists, or by the thumbnails. And then this is the bacon buffet. Anybody know why we have a whole entire series of videos with bacon thumbnails? And if you notice, there's a whole section of them with robots with bacon, subset of bacon interests. We have the license plate series, which is what we're going to be taking a look at today. And I guess that's as many playlists as they let us jam on the front page. So that's all we get. So that's the way we organize our page. We go live every night with an intent. We go live on Mondays to motivate, inform, and assist Second Amendment activists. Tuesdays, we talk about 2A. That's what we're talking about tonight. Like say Wednesday's that tactical quiz, travel and training, and then the weekly wrap up. So today we're going to take a look at this particular playlist and see what all we got going on. And I don't know how many people go into their YouTubes to check out playlists, but we got 27 videos in there. I didn't know what week or what state we were on this week because of what happened last week. If you remember, you remember what I'm saying? And so we didn't have, that I'm aware of, a choice for this week. So I figured I'd go back and take a look. Last week we were looking at the 50 states of 2A. Week before that was North Carolina. We got Montana. Oh, you know what I could do? You know what I could do? You know what I can do? I can do a thing. How am I going to do this? Oh, I know exactly how to do this. So I'm going to open up a thing like this. Paint. Then we're going to go grab a free USA state outlines. Easy. So there's a bunch of people that put those online for the free. Boom, here's a good one. Printable map. Well, let's find one that says free right in the name. Free printable map. Everybody likes that. So copy image. Boom. Guess what we're going to do over here? Paste the image. That's exactly right. There we go. We got a nice little image that's free to use. Thank you, Internet, for helping us out with that. Get rid of this. And let's get into this. So it's that easy to start keeping track of things by state. So let's dig in. Oh, there's Smeggy over there. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome to the conversation. Let's see. So we've got the map. I'm going to jam it underneath it here. And we're going to put the fill tool on. Looks like a paint bucket spilling over. And then why don't we use the colors of the show? Blue, and we'll make everything around the United States blue, just like an island, like we are. And then we'll have orange for the states that we've already talked about. So let's go in order backwards. North of the Carolina. Wait a minute. No, that's the wrong state. How about north of the Carolina, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Then we got Montana. I'll scoot it over so you can see me click on it. Oregon, got it. South of the Carolinas, low of the Louisianas, Maine, okay, California, that was a good one. 2A in the USA, we looked at the whole country again. Pennsylvania, right there. Florida, South Dakota, North Dakota. Is it required that we touch those all together? Like they always have to be together? They're basically the same state. Idaho, that's a good one. Arizona, I remember that state. Massachusetts is this one. It's little. Alabama is Mississippi. That makes that one Alabama. We got New Jersey, which is this good looking one. Then we got the New Hampshire. Yeah, turns out there's a New Hampshire. So the way I remember it is Vermont looks like a V. New Hampshire is the other one. Arkansas, this one. Minnesota. Wow, we did a bunch of them already. The Nebraska, northern Nebraska. Then we have the Tennessee. Good state, one of my favorites. Indiana, real one. Georgia, yep, also a real state. Ohio, known to be real. Many real people live in Ohio. Iowa, not so sure about that one. Oh, that's where we started. Iowa, the least of the real states that we know of in this list. All right, so we're going to move this over. Click over here. There we go. So that lets me know right off the bat we can get the Michigan. I thought we would have done Michigan by now. I feel like we would have already done Michigan. We're going to do the water. Oh, no, it's the Northern Peninsula. I accidentally turned the Northern Peninsula into a lake. Sorry about that. So now we've got Wisconsin, Illinois, interesting. Washington, I could have sworn we did Washington. Are you kidding me? We didn't do Washington? For reals? For real? Come on. All right, I guess we didn't do it. I could have sworn we already did Washington. Maybe that's the one we picked, and that's the one we didn't do. Maybe that's what's happening. We'll never know. Unless you go back and listen to the shows, I guess. All right, so that's a little bit of pretty much what I was going to do tonight. Let's take a look. It was actually way easier than I thought to get a list of the ones that are still to be done. So let's see. I think in the description of this video, which would be available, I guess by going back one, and then into the video itself. Yep, I do have audio going. Is it that quiet? Oh, this is up all the way. We got Oklahoma, Washington. Oh, that might have been what happened is Washington got screwed. Maybe I should have made this show Washington. I guess we'll never know. Vermont or New York. So Oklahoma. No, see, we've already done. Oh, we have said Oklahoma. Oklahoma, Washington, Vermont, or New York. All right, so I guess I could color those in. No, I'm not gonna, but I could color them in these colors if I wanted. Give me an idea which ones we're talking about, but I'm not. Just do undo a couple of times to get rid of those. Let's see. Why don't we save this real quick, like? Oh, look at that. 2A Tuesday. I'll just add a qualifier to it, and now it's going to be saved right next to that first one. We can just move that off screen, and nobody saying anything. So I guess nobody's showing up tonight except for Snuggy. We could just BS offline. So I'm going to show this cool video I made. Oh, what's going on? Come on, just play the video. How about that? Oh, I see what happened is it moved it over here. That was a bad move. There we go. There's no audio to it. This is using software called Blender, which is there, I guess. Wait, I don't know what I did over here. I accidentally moved it to my desktop, and it's trying to play, so it's probably not helping anything. Let me cut. And just put it where it's supposed to be already, I guess. Oh, I remember. I was using it, and it was in place, so I couldn't. It took me about a half an hour to find this thing, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why it wasn't where I thought it was going to be. And the reason was because it was being used in some software. It wouldn't let me transfer or move the file. And now I remember. All right. Well, see, the call comes back to you when you try to play it. So yeah, this is taking nothing, turning it into, taking shapes effectively, bringing those shapes into 3D space, giving them kind of just touching up the shapes. It's not like they're perfect or anything, but, you know, making them look more like what they're supposed to look like. And then giving them some skin, I guess, color, texture, and then lighting, setting up a camera. And then for me, the hardest part of all of this was getting the camera. Basically, the coin is sitting there, or the logo is sitting there, and the camera is spinning around it. So the lights are in one spot, the coin is in one spot, but the camera is spinning all around it. I don't know how well that's, is it glitching or is it just playing on the, through the stream? It's kind of glitching for me here. But anyway, that's a lot of work trying to get that stupid software to work. So you would think all software is the same, but it's sort of like, I guess, getting into a diesel truck and then like a little convertible roadster or something. They both have steering wheels and they both have gas pedals, but man, they're different. Michigan got robbed if you haven't done it yet. See, here's the thing. We're not done. We're going to go back to the Daily Gun Show channel. And if you'll remember, I kind of set everything up again earlier this year when we started doing episode 2. At 1,300 episodes, we started doing episode season 2 or whatever. And I have, see this? Down below here, we have this whole license plate series. Let's take a look at the license plate series and see what we got going on over here. What I'm going to do is, for the license plate series with 32 videos in it, see what I'm saying? We're going to do a little magic over here, if we can. We're going to hit undo, whatever this has been, 27 times. Let's see if it'll let us do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nope, it's not letting us do any. All right, so it lets us do none. So now we're going to flip that to white, and we're going to try, this is the Macintosh version of undo, which is basically just coloring everything orange-white, which is fake. This is a fake channel would do it instead of actually just getting software that can actually do an undo. And now let's act like we started from scratch, even though obviously we just faked it. We're going to make these, I don't know what color, how about purple? I never use purple anymore. So let's get into it. We got Arizona, of course. We have California, of course. We have New Jersey, of course. We've got Indiana, of course. Vermont, remember? You can tell by, it looks like a V. West Virginia, you can tell because it looks like a W. South Carolina, nobody can tell that one. Wisconsin, smells like cheese. Just sniff, and it's the one that smells like cheese all the time. Wyoming, is that the coolest state ever? All the states could just be a big rectangle square, and everybody be happy. We could just live in a nice uniform grid, and everybody would be happy. No panhandles, no peninsulas. Come on. Pennsylvania, yeah, pretty good. Rectangle, basically. Hawaii, fake. It's not even on this map. Oh, man. Look at what happens when you try to appease Hawaii. We did Hawaii, though, back in the day. Iowa, again, negotiable, whether or not it exists. Indiana. How did Indiana get double billing in here? I feel like something went on. Somebody was paid off, obviously. It's one of the reasons we had to take a hiatus and do a season 2, is to deal with whatever shenanigans were happening there. Kentucky, a state that doesn't get enough recognition. One of the coolest states ever. Probably one of the coolest states ever. But don't tell anybody about it because leave it alone. Just let it be. Illinois, yeah, it could be good. Illinois could be good, but it chose to not be good. New York, yeah, I don't know about New York. I've only been there a couple of times. They have one castle I like. Idaho. Arkansas, best food I've ever eaten maybe in my life. Definitely best food in a long time is in Little Rock, Arkansas. I still follow the channel on Instagram, and every once in a while I wish I could just drive over there and eat their awesome food. Wyoming, double billing because they're so good. Oklahoma, California, double billing because they cheated. Texas, habit versus direction. What the hell? But it's Colorado. So Colorado also nice, respectable state, looking like a decent rectangle, like a state should look like. It's horizontal, but whatever. They're leftist. What are you going to give them? They're going to be a horizontal rectangle. It can't just be a vertical rectangle, like a decent state. Look at New Mexico over there with their goofy panhandle. Otherwise, they'd be a really good exemplary state. Utah, right there, minding its business, just being a good state. Let's see, Maine. All right. They can't help it. They've got Canada messing with them. They can't be square. Pennsylvania, somehow they got in the list twice. Nobody knows how that happened. Florida, Washington. See, we did touch Washington already. Arizona, fake. Maine, come on, what is this? California, we didn't even care back then. We just did whatever states we felt like, I guess. Missouri, that's it. So that's it. Look, we didn't even care about any of the North Souths, except for South Carolina. All the North states can go fuck off. And then all the new states effectively could go fuck off back in our old system. That's why nobody liked the old system. We all understand what happened. So we're going to save this as 333. And now we'll know what we used to do. And now we know what we did. Boom. All right. So is it possible to take both of these next to each other? A lot of times people would say, no, you can't just do that. What are you doing? But we can. Let's try opening this up in a separate window. We just did. And there you go. So what do we miss? We got Utah's never been done, which makes no sense because that's where Dead Horse is at. Nevada's never been done. What? Where SHOT Show is. That's all we talk about is SHOT Show. We could probably work out a way to talk about Nevada while we're talking about SHOT Show, but then talk about SHOT Show while we're talking about Nevada in a show about SHOT Show. That'll be pretty good. What else we got? New Mexico. That's interesting. Also, Kansas. Right? No. Yeah, Kansas. Messing with me. What is this one? Alabama? For some reason, Alabama evaded any kind of focus, as well as Virginia. Interesting. Also, Michigan. What's up with that? We've never, ever, ever talked about Michigan. What's weird is how many co-hosts of this show were from Michigan. And I'm just asking, how many co-hosts of this show are from Michigan, for crying out loud? And we never talked about Michigan. I feel like with as many co-hosts that are from Michigan, you would feel like we would talk about Michigan. But evidently, the evidence is in, and we never have talked about Michigan. Another state we've never talked about, Delaware. Another state, Maryland, which, you know, there's a crabby turtle out there. It's probably going to be pissed about that. Virginia, I think I already mentioned that one. So I think instead of just looking at this map like a lot of shows would have done, they would have only looked at what they haven't done. What we did is we looked at what we haven't done twice. And now we're going to know just which states really need some attention. Are those states skirting underneath the radar? Who knows what's going on in those states because we haven't examined them. So in the future, we are going to examine those states, maybe a little bit heavier than we would have examined another state that was, you know, not trying to hide or whatever they're trying to do. I'm not saying they're trying to hide. I'm just saying a lot of these states have never stood up to be 2A Tuesday before. And we're going to change that. That's what I feel like we're going to change. So Wheeled and Well Arms out there, good evening. What's the topic? 2A Tuesday. I really just didn't know what state we were talking about this week. And I figured, let's go live and look at the ones we've already did so that we can figure out which ones I have yet to do. Let's see. We do have a poll. No, wait, we don't have a poll going because I never set it up. Did I? Nope, I never did. So I guess we could set a poll up. We do have some people out here. Let's acknowledge the folks that are up in the middle of the night listening to a chat, which is basically me just doing my podcast live. Well, I mean, doing the stuff I should be doing off air, on air. We got Smeggy out there, already acknowledged. Good evening. Woods, chiming in, saying hello, welcome. That is, if you didn't know before, the reason we have the bacon playlist. Let's see, no Washington, exactly. I don't know what's going on with that. Wait a minute, did we ever have a co-host from Washington? I don't know, not really, but you know, you were on the show a lot, so I'm just saying. I think what happened was I was supposed to be doing Washington today, or maybe even last week, but you know what I'm saying? Let's blame Nancy Pelosi for that. She's a very frustrating lady. Very frustrating lady. It's very difficult for me to keep my attention on this show with Nancy Pelosi doing all the things she does. Remember Taiwan? I'm just saying. Peninsulas were formed by the gods. Panhandles are made for dumb people. Well, that's an interesting position to take. It's controversial, sure. But peninsulas being formed by the gods. I don't know what you mean. So we've all seen Hitchhiker's Guide. We know that that planet was made by them weird people on that one planet. But I hear what you're saying. However, here's what I'm saying. We don't know what happened back in the day. A bunch of people back in the day could have thrown rocks that they didn't want anymore out into the water. Like all the rocks they didn't want anymore. And that could have become Florida. How do we know? And in that case, maybe there was a sign that said, don't go by these. These are all the rocks that nobody wants anymore, right? And then that sign got knocked over and everybody started living out there. And now we have Florida. We just got to remember our history. And I'm just saying, not every peninsula is bad. I'm just saying that it's reckless. Going out into the water like that, it's reckless. All right. So Michigan is right in the middle, so nobody cares. I don't know. I feel like Michigan, maybe it's because of what you did to Washington or Wisconsin, you know? Maybe it's because of the whole Ohio situation. You know, I'm just saying. People have memories. Let's see. I think Woods is taken off, so Woods is gone. He didn't like the Washington situation. Let's see. Anything else? Gizzards out there, good evening. Jasmine from Georgia, right on. So we'll probably do Georgia again because Georgia is one of the states that has the most 2A. Oh, you know what? This doesn't really help y'all. Let me go over here and put these back over here so you can at least look at something that's more interesting than nothing. So let's go back to, this is the original 32 states that we did in the season 1. This is the 27 states that we've done in season 2. So in the first 1,300 episodes, we weren't really doing it. I don't know what I did. I think we did it like every once in a while, really. I don't think we ever really did it intentionally very often, or I mean, with any regularity. The only thing was I like to grab license plates. I think actually towards the, I guess I could just look at the license plates numbers, but yeah, somewhere in the 12s here. I think we just spent a period of time. Like these are sequential shows, so there was a period of time we were just dealing with a state every day, and that was too much. Nobody liked that. That was too much. We did 32 of them, and a bunch of them were like that. But now what we do is we ration it out to every Tuesday, and it's a more moderate level that people can deal with. What happens is you got 50 states, you got 50 weeks, and you end up covering the entire country each year. Let's see. So what was I going to do? We were going to say, so I'm looking at if these are the states that we've already covered and the states that we have covered so far this year. I think some of the obvious ones, what I should have done is open this as an editable file with editor, and then I can do the same color thing that I was doing before. And now I can add the states that we'll be doing next. So some of the states that we'll want to get to sooner than later are the ones that we haven't hit ever. So that'll be Virginia, and that'll be Delaware. No, is that Connecticut? And Rhode Island, I guess. Well, Connecticut's a good one because we know people in Connecticut now, even more and more. Actually, we know a ton of people in Connecticut. Then we've got, why can't I think of Alabama? Wow, that took forever. We've got Kansas. And then, Nevada. And that's a weird section of 3. And then Michigan, of course. That's what started it all. So that's interesting. Very, very interesting. And I think that's it. So those are the states that we'll be focusing on next, I guess. And then those white states will be the ones after. Actually, no, what am I saying? We never did. Well, yeah, we haven't done Washington, but we did Washington in the last series. So let's see. What did we have potentially in the poll today? Do I have this chat open anymore? I guess I don't. Oh, yeah, I do over here. We had potentially Oklahoma, Washington, and Vermont. In New York. So I think what we'll do is Washington next week anyway. And then none of these states are states that we need to hit. So if anybody's got an idea for a state out of the green here that you want to hit next week, or the week after, I guess, then we'll do that. We'll hit Washington next week so that it gets its fair ups. And then we'll hit one of these states in green and kind of continue on from the states in green there. I have no idea when we started this. I don't think I started it right in January or whatever. So this will wrap around the new year and into next year. Being surrounded by water is good for zombie defense and for the Canadians, right? You keep it so that that water doesn't freeze, and then you don't have to worry about the Canadians, which has been pretty good. I don't think they've ever invaded Michigan, so well done. All right, well, let's see what else we got going on. I was going to, I think I showed you the little dingly thing I made. I think that was it. If anybody wants to do off air, let me know. Otherwise, I've got a couple of things I'm working on here. And maybe we'll wrap this one up short. When I do the Tuesday ones and I do the Thursday ones, they're non-scripted. Guess what? These aren't scripted. And I didn't have too much thought out for this one today. Actually, I thought it was going to take a little bit longer to dig into those. I did find something when I was digging around the other day, and I think it was FPC. FPC gun. I'll put it in like that. That might find it. Firearms Policy Coalition. And maybe it was GOA. No, maybe it was GOA. I think it was GOA. So I'm going over to GOA now. What happens if I just type in GOA? Nothing. Bunch of weird stuff. Government. GOAGov.in, India. Oh, wow. No wonder it came up. That's a lot of people searching for that. So, GOA guns. And that'll bring up Numbers America. And GOA working to destroy the ATF registry. If you go down here to state alerts, and then you can flip it to, oh, I thought you could flip it to a state. Maybe I am thinking of something else. Oh man, was it NRA? That'll piss people off. Was it an NRA site I saw? I thought I was able to search by state someplace. This is lame. You can't search by state, but you can search by type of alert. Who cares what type of alert it is? So let's say if I'm going to type Washington in here. Let's take a little look at what the dates are on these. May 22, May 22, August 2020. Man, is it NRA? Someplace I found, oh, I think it was this. Uh-oh. It wasn't this, though. It was called NRA Explorer, though, or maybe that's just their new website. Dang, that's probably just their new website. So how do you type in here state and federal gun laws? Maybe that's what it was. Because whatever it was, no, this isn't it. Whatever it was I found, it was essentially a really nice list. And I really thought it was GOA when I was thinking about it. So it's either GOA or NRA. But I think I might add that to the mix whenever we're doing it, because what we do with the 50 states in our Minuteman University research is dated, but it's also not focused on issues of today. This isn't the point at all. It's to talk about whose shoulders we stand on, and the stuff that comes from these states that often gets just overlooked or not paid attention to intentionally pay attention to stuff. So going over to one of these, I'll have to find where it was. I should have saved it. But whenever I can find it again, we'll just go there and take a quick look at whatever the current stuff is so that we're addressing that stuff too on the Tuesday shows. Additionally, we're going to be spending more effort on the choosing of the organization and the activist. So I'd really like to cycle through those, and also was spending more time on that. I think I'll figure out a way to maybe sit down and do a bunch of polls and schedule those polls, so I don't have to think about doing it, before the show each week. I'll just do them all one day for the whole year, and then that way we'll have that to reach to or look to when we're doing the show. All right, beyond that, like I say, if anybody wanted to do an after chat, let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap this one up kind of early. Let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday, so I would recommend 4 p.m. Eastern, which makes it 1 p.m. out on the non-metric coast. Cape Gunworks does their rapid fire radio. It's an awesome show, a gun shop in Massachusetts that does a radio show that they record while they're streaming on YouTube, and they interact with the comments that are coming in. They have guests, and call in people once in a while, and then the show gets recorded for an hour. That goes out to the radio, and then a second hour for the podcast gets recorded. And it really is an interesting show, but happens right in the middle of the day. For me, it's a great time to get some tasks done. It's an easy enough show to listen to while you're getting work done. You don't really have to look at the screen very often at all. And it's effectively a podcast. And it's live and it's happening in real time with a host that's able to keep up with the comments. And the comments are focused almost always on Massachusetts, which is interesting compared to a lot of the other states where we know we have issues. You don't hear too many people from Massachusetts being active and talking about their plight, their situation. Let's see. We'll have the tactical quiz tomorrow. It's a lot of fun. Where we will. I don't know what we're going to do for the tactical quiz tomorrow. I think I have an idea. Oh wait, let me look. It's not a bingo. No, it's not a bingo. But I think I had an idea for the tactical quiz if I can get everything done in the time to do it, do the stuff I had in mind. So tactical quiz tomorrow. Thursday is travel and training. Friday, we look back at the week. And every day, we thank you for joining us in the middle of the night. If you're listening to this on one of those podcast things, we're appreciating the thumbs up. We're getting a lot of thumbs up and stuff. I don't know if it's a pain. I went around yesterday or today, the other day, looking around trying to offer feedback on the platforms, and it's very difficult. The only platform I'm aware of, oh, I'm yawning, I'm drinking coffee. The only platform I'm aware of that lets you really leave comments is iTunes. So we're going to be doing something special, very special. Thank you for anybody that leaves us iTunes comments, and I mean it. We've got a slew of interesting, fun things. We're going to have a really good Free Patch Friday this weekend, thanks to some people, I'll just say that, that support the show by giving us some free loot to be able to give away. Looking forward to that. If I can get all my crap together here, we'll take some pictures and get some stuff up. We'll also have a little bit of fun for the people that have won stuff or got stuff in the past, and we've didn't know what they wanted or didn't have something to offer them because they've won a bunch of stuff before. We'll have some ways to play with that a little bit. Hopefully this Friday. All right, with that, thanks everybody who's joined us live and not really saying anything, but thanks for people that said stuff earlier, I guess. And if you're out there listening in the future, thanks for what you're gonna say. We'll be back tomorrow. And if you want, you can head over to one of our places where we have stuff and things and grab a thing or some stuff and then help support what we're doing here.
Tonight's episode, The Endangered Species.
Hey, did you know that you could help support our future projects and let everyone know you're a fan of what we do? Check out our print-on-demand store. We have a tab here on YouTube. When you click on it, you can choose from a bunch of different items we have, shirts and posters and coffee mugs. Click on the one you like. When you find the design you want to put on it, choose a color and a size if it's appropriate. And when you purchase these items, a portion goes to help fund our future projects. We really do appreciate your support. You get some cool stuff. When you get that stuff, post pictures here and on other platforms, and we'll hook you up next time you order from our Gear website store. Thank you for your support of gunwebsites.com. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com. Do 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 do.